Many of the movies that made Ryan O'Neal popular around the world in the 1970s cast him as the boy next door because of his blonde hair and blue eyes. He died at the age of 82. Back then, his clean-cut screen picture didn't give away much about how famous his personal life would become. In spite of his long and fluctuating playing career, he had trouble with 3 of his children, Tatum, Griffin, and Redmond. He also used drugs and had a stormy relationship with actress Farrah Fawcett. In the 1970 movie Love Story, he falls in love with Jennifer Cavalieri, played by Ally McGraw, who is from a working-class family and is a Harvard law student named Oliver Barrett IV. His rich father doesn't want them to get married, but they do, and she dies of cancer. The movie with the tagline, "Love means never having to say you're sorry," was a big hit, and the 2 young stars got along great. But even though he did great work in Paper Moon, 1973, and Barry Lyndon, 1975, O'Neal would never be as famous as he was in Love Story. O'Neal was born in Los Angeles to a family that worked in movies. Charles Blackie O'Neal was his father. He wrote books and scripts for movies like the subtle horror film The Seventh Victim, 1943, and the Randolph Scott Western Return of the Bad Men, 1948. Patricia, née O'Callaghan, his mother, was in a few movies but mostly did theater work. Along with his younger brother Kevin, who was also an actress for a short time, Ryan grew up in the smart Coldwater Canyon neighborhood. He was aggressive from a young age, so his dad built him a boxing ring in the backyard so that he could use his fighting spirit in a healthy way. So he learned to box and became a very good beginner. His father's job took him to Munich for a short time, where he worked as a stuntman on the US TV show Tales of the Vikings. When O'Neal hit a stranger at a party in 1960, he went to jail for 51 days. In the same year, he had a small role as a bellboy in an episode of The Untouchables, written by his father, and in an episode of The Many Loves of Dobie Geel. Then, for the next 9 years, O'Neal was on TV a lot. He had regular roles in the Western series Empire, 1962-1963. And more importantly, he played Rodney Harrington, the spoiled son of a mill owner, in 501 episodes of the primetime soap opera Peyton Place, 1964-1969. Most of the episodes were about Rodney's love affairs. He married actor Joanna Moore in 1963. They split up in 1967 after having a son named Griffin and a daughter named Tatum. The Big Bounce, 1969, O'Neal's first movie role, could not have been worse. In California, he played a cucumber picker who starts dating the farm owner's teenage lover. Lee Taylor Young played her. She was one of his co-stars in Peyton Place and had become his wife in 1967. They had a son together named Patrick. The New York Times said that O'Neal is merely photogenic in his movie debut. In O'Neal's second movie, The Games, 1970, directed by Michael Winner, he played a Yale student who trains for the Rome Olympics by using drugs, beer, and women. During the race, he has a heart attack. The script was written by Eric Siegel. In the same year, Arthur Hiller made a much better movie based on Siegel's best-selling book, Love Story. It made directors think they had found a new star in O'Neal, who was then nominated for an Oscar. The next movie he was in with William Holden was Blake Edwards' buddy, Western Wild Rovers, 1971. He played a loud, stupid cowboy who looked up to his older but not much smarter instructor. The next part he played was a pretentious, forgetful, and glasses-wearing musicologist opposite Barbra Streisand in What's Up, Doc? 1972. Peter Bogdanovich's heavy homage to screwball comedy. For this role, he was unfairly compared to Cary Grant. O'Neal felt much more at ease playing the smooth con artist in Bogdanovich's Paper Moon. This could be because the role didn't need much depth. But his 9-year-old daughter stole the movie from him. Tatum hit her out of what was thought to be anger when she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, making her the youngest person to do so. He would hit her again and again. Tatum wrote in her autobiography, "My father scared me, but Griffin was the real whipping boy. I couldn't always keep Griffin safe from my dad. He always had bruises, which he would cover up by telling crazy stories about how he fell downstairs with his hands in his pockets.